Merry Christmas, horror fans. Happy holidays to you all, whether you're watching this video around a warm, toasty fire or eating a steak and lobster feast with a large glass of Scotch, or is that just me? Either way, I'd like to extend my sincerest and heartfelt joy at this most wonderful time of the year. And what better way to share it than by taking a look at the bizarre yet surprisingly decent festive season genre-bending mashup slashers in horror cinema. Hello horror fans and Merry Christmas to you all. Once again, welcome back to the scariest and, just for one day, the cheeriest channel on YouTube, top 5 scary videos. As always, I'll be your horror host Jack Finch as we take a look at the top 5 scariest Christmas horror monsters. Roll the clip.
Well, I tell you something. Santa Claus only brings presents to them that's been good all year.
Alright guys, we're making a list, we're checking it twice, and we're about to find out who's been naughty or nice. Well, what did you expect? This is a list-based channel after all, it's what we do. In all seriousness, Christmas-themed slasher films are a dime a dozen, especially in B-movie territory. It's hard to take a fat guy in a red suit with an axe seriously at the best of times, but during the festive season, horror cinema takes it to a whole new level. Horror. See what I did there? Well, let's take a look at all those films that you can replace It's a Wonderful Life with this Christmas Eve. Kicking off at number 5, the Krampus. Of course, you know this guy, it's the Krampus, the half-goat, half-demon, horned, terrifying monstrosity from Austro-Bavarian folklore. He's one of St. Nicholas's brave companions who act as an evil foil to the jolly, gift-giving nature of old Santa across Central Europe, particularly the Bavarian regions. They're like the death metal version of Santa, and they're pretty spooky. Well, with the 2015 release of the dark comedic slasher Krampus, directed by Mike Doherty, we got to see him in all of his terrifying glory. If you haven't seen it, Krampus is great fun, and so surprisingly creepy that it kind of takes you off guard. Don't get me wrong, it's a cut and shut movie, and there's nothing more to it than a terrified family being chased around town on Christmas Eve by a ravenous, unrelenting demon from Alpine folklore. But if that's not exactly what you want this Christmas Eve, I don't know what else to tell you. Next up at number 4, SINTERKLAAS. What do you get when you imagine Santa Claus not as the jolly, blushing, bearded sweetheart of an old man, but instead a skeletal Catholic saint on horseback, hell-bent on enacting revenge against a society that's turned its back against him? Well, you get Saint, or Sint in its original Dutch, based on the Netherlands folklore depiction of Sinterklaas, the patron saint of children. I'm not going to lie, this film isn't much more than 90 odd minutes of slasher death scenes, but if that's what you want this Christmas, you won't be disappointed. And there are a few genuinely creepy moments where the demonic Sinterklaas truly shines. This film actually stirred up such a fuss that parents across the Netherlands tried to get the poster banned from public areas, believing that small children would misinterpret the mutilated, demonic looking Sinterklaas with the actual happy version of Santa Claus. They're not the same, guys. Santa's got a sleigh and Sinterklaas slays. Sorry, I had to get that one in. Coming in next at number 3, Harry Stadling, Christmas Evil. Oh man, is this film creepy, and Brandon Maggott's depiction of a psychopathic killer obsessed with the idea of Santa Claus is definitely the kind of vibe to get your skin crawling this Christmas Eve. Written and directed by Lewis Jackson and originally released under the title You Better Watch Out, Christmas Evil highlights everything that is wrong with a grown man still obsessed with old Saint Nick, who then takes up the responsibility of dishing out gifts and presents to those that have been good and then, well, murdering those that have been bad with a hatchet, and on one occasion, a Christmas tree star. It's interesting to think that a Christmas-based slasher film could stand toe-to-toe with the likes of Halloween and Friday the 13th, and even more so with the fact that Christmas Evil actually addresses some incredibly tough themes. From a psychological perspective, this film is a successful depiction of a warped mind. From a moral perspective, this film is a social commentary on the gaping gulf between the rich and the poor, and the misinterpretation of charity and goodwill at this time of the year. Yeah, pretty lofty themes for a Santa slasher film, but against all odds, it works, and it's definitely one of the creepiest Christmas films you'll ever watch. You better watch out. Next up at our number 2 spot, Billy Chapman. In regard to horror, Silent Night, Deadly Night is arguably the greatest cult Christmas slasher ever made, which is a sentence I could never imagine myself saying. And the really interesting thing with this film is how much controversy it stirred up, because by today's standards, this film is a walk in the park compared to some of the gore for the sake of gore movies we've had recently. Still though, that doesn't detract from the fact that it's alive in all of its red suit and beard wearing Santa slasher glory. I'm not sure whether Silent Night, Deadly Night is still getting dragged through the mud by critics holding a grudge, but really it's the perfect demonstration of what horror can do when it doesn't take itself too seriously, and then puts it in a Santa Claus suit. That is not to detract from the character of Billy Chapman though, who is equal parts gory and equal parts insanely entertaining. He's the same ilk of Harry Stadling in Christmas Evil, which, may I add, didn't get any hate from critics for what is essentially the same film, although Billy Chapman is, well, let's say he's a more direct version. Literally, this film is 88 minutes of Billy Chapman dressed as Santa Claus, grunting punishment while swinging his axe at people. Merry Christmas. What's all the fuss about? And finally, at our number one spot, rare exports.
Selitä sille, että meillä on täällä pukki myytävänä.
This film is actually incredible, if not completely insane and quintessentially Finnish. It also features one of the greatest mythological Christmas monsters, the Joulupukki, or the ancient version of Santa Claus in Finnish folklore, which literally translates to Christmas goat, or a horned demon that whips misbehaving children and boils them in a cauldron. Although we kind of don't get to see it in all of its glory, it's the build-up in this film that makes it all worthwhile. Plus, terrifying elves, which are actually skinny old men with beards that gnaw reindeer to the bone. That's all the spoilers you'll get from me, because Rare Exports is definitely worth a watch, whether you're feeling in the festive spirit or not. It's actually a great film, and reminiscent of the 30 Days of Night graphic novel, just the Christmas version, I guess, no vampires. It's a frantic mix of black comedy, pagan iconography, more mythological monsters than you can shake a stick at, all wrapped up in a horror movie on overdrive. What more could you ask for this Christmas?
To find out who is naughty or nice.
Rauhallista joulua.
Well, there we have it, horror fans. I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed this Christmas-based list. What better way to enjoy the festive season? Wherever you are, whatever you do, I hope these 9 or so minutes have added a little more Christmas cheer to your day. It's been an awesome year, guys. Thanks to all of you horror fans, new and old. So make sure to give us a thumbs up and ding that subscribe bell, because why not? It's Christmas. As always, I've been your host, Jack Finch. You've been watching Top 5 Scary Videos. And until next time, you have a very Merry Christmas. Take it easy.